She hurried to her wardrobe, pulling out a small wooden box where she kept miscellaneous items. She remembered leaving the key in there. Being an organized person, it wasn't hard for her to find the small silver key nestled in a corner. Her hands trembled as she picked it up and turned around. He was still there, silently watching her, a faint smile on his lips. Was it all just a dream, a longer dream than usual? She wished that was the case. If not, she wanted time to stop here, with him beside her, without worrying about that terrifying forest or the door she had to cross. "Give it to me." He extended his hand for the key. "Don't we need to return to the forest to open the door?" "No, it's not necessary. That might put you in danger. As long as the key drifts into the human world again, it will be enough." Then, Harvey. She looked up at him, meeting his gaze, so tender and warm. He gently lifted her chin and placed a soft, lingering kiss on her lips. "Just think of me as a dream." He stepped away, slowly opening the door wider. Sunlight poured in, filling the room with its brilliance. After nearly 2 days lost into the darkness, the sunlight felt more dazzling and intense than ever. But suddenly, she panicked. The light was making his figure fade. He looked down at the key in his hand, then back at her with a radiant yet distant and regretful smile. Then, his body, along with the key, gradually faded, vanishing into the glowing morning light. "Shalom. Harvey. Harvey, you're awake." Harvey slowly opened her eyes. Around her were a few close friends. She tried to sit up, but her whole body ached. "Where am I?" "At the hospital. You suddenly collapsed during the camping trip and have been unconscious for 2 days. Harvey was stunned. 2 days, so everything she had experienced, getting lost in the strange forest, meeting him, was all a dream? She immediately jumped out of bed, ignoring her friend's bewildered expression, rushed home, and opened the box with the key. It was gone. The key had truly disappeared. 1,000 questions flooded her mind, questions that wouldn't have answers for a very long time. In the following days, she sometimes dreamt of that strange place again, but the familiar figure never appeared. Still, whether it was real or just a dream, the moments she spent with him were deeply etched into her heart. A year later, Harvey had graduated and had been working as a nurse at Hospital D in a quiet city for nearly a year. On her first day receiving patients, she felt like she had stepped into another dream. Because she saw him, the face she had never forgotten. But this person was lying silently on a hospital bed, breathing through an oxygen mask. Patient information: Huang Tai Lam, 27 years old. Admitted on June 26, 2012, in critical condition due to a traffic accident. Underwent surgery, but has remained in a coma with no guaranteed recovery time. Could it really be him? He had been hospitalized 3 years ago. The same time, he got lost in the forest. He once said he didn't know why he had ended up there. Was it because he wasn't completely a spirit, since his body was still here in a coma? It sounded absurd, but somehow she believed it. A colleague told her the chances of him waking up after surgery were extremely low. But about a year ago, he suddenly showed strange reaction, and his condition improved miraculously. We thought he would wake up immediately, but even the doctors couldn't explain why he remains unconscious. Does he have any family? Only a younger sister who visits occasionally. From then on, his hospital room became the place Harvey visited most. Every day after work, she would stop by just to silently watch his peaceful, sleeping face. So your name is Huang Tai Lam? That's a nice name. Why didn't you tell me before? The doctors say you're recovering well, so why won't you wake up? You have so many questions to answer for me. A month later, Harvey finally received the news. The patient had woken up. She hurriedly finished her work and rushed to his room. But when he looked at her, there was a hint of unfamiliarity in his eyes. It seemed like he didn't recognize her. "This is the nurse who has been taking care of you," his sister introduced. Harvey held her breath, waiting for his reaction, but all she got was a polite nod. "Thank you." Her heart sank. Forcing a smile, she replied, "It's nothing. I'm just glad you're awake." "Really? Huh?" She looked up, confused. He was smiling, teasing her. "Is that really all you wanted? You, Harvey?" That deep, familiar voice, the one that had echoed in her dream, was now real, here with her. Shanti Deepmash. For the next week, Tai Lam struggled to adjust to sunlight and had to wear sunglasses everywhere. Harvey took the week off to show him the world he had been missing for 3 years. He joked, "If I hadn't met you in that dream, I would have died of loneliness." He admitted, "I'm not as brave and mature as I was in the dream. People used to think I was a flirt." Unlike the distant figure in her dream, he was talkative, humorous, and playful. But most importantly, he still gave her that same warm, peaceful feeling. One evening, under the soft moonlight, he held her hand as they strolled along the quiet street. A small, shiny key suddenly dropped at their feet. Harvey bent down to pick it up, but he stopped her. "Don't. But we can bury it, just to keep it away from that forest." "That's not the point. What if picking it up makes you dream of another guy?" Just then, a little boy ran over. Miss, that's my house key." They looked at each other and laughed. How foolish they were. What were the chances of encountering that same key again?